Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm gonna fail terribly, but I've been asked this question a lot here lately. What's the difference between a homesteader and somebody that just has a flock of chickens and a few raised beds? Before I expound on that particular question, let me zoom out a little bit and tell you where I'm at looking at the big picture. This is not a black and white deal. This is not an all in or an all out deal, in my opinion. More often than not, we're put on one extreme end or the other of whatever by the people around us, especially online and especially dealing with politics. Now, y'all know I hate politics, but for the sake of the points in this video, I feel like I need to go there briefly. Now, watch this. I have conservative values that I believe in and live by. That very statement right there has got me all kinds of titles that I didn't assign to myself. One of which is being a fascist. Obviously, I'm not a fascist, but I'm not an extreme anti-fascist either. You see the two extreme ends? A fascist believes in no individual liberty, no political opposition, a single ruler, no democracy. Obviously, that's not me. And then there's anti-fascists, commonly known as Antifa, which is functionally a group of anarchists. They have no leader, no structure, no law. It's 100% chaos. I'm not a fascist and I'm not an anarchist. I'm on neither end of that. And for some reason, in this day and time, you can't be in the middle. You get put on one end or the other. And sometimes people that have a flock of chickens and a garden are labeled paranoid prepper conspiracy theorists. Now, I've worn those titles as well. And that's kind of why I said I'm going to fail terribly at trying to answer this question, because I don't believe it can be answered. The term homesteading itself is a broad term, and to be honest, it's been taken way out of context from its original meaning. If you ask 100 different people what a homesteader is, you're going to get 100 different answers. If you have chickens, can you be classified as a homesteader? Or a pressure canner? Or if you don't have a tractor, can you still be called a homesteader? Some people think you're not a real homesteader unless you're off-grid. And speaking of off-grid, I may ruffle a few feathers here, but I have an opinion. Off-grid is another one of these terms that just gets thrown around loosely. And most of the people that claim to live off-grid are using this term in the wrong way. Unless you're living without electricity, without water, without internet, and all that. What we know today as off-grid people are people that have spent an enormous amount of time and or money to construct their own little tiny grid that they have complete control over. Now, I have the utmost respect for these people that go through everything it takes to get that done, but they're not off-grid. They're on their own little grid that they built. True off-grid living is what that Richard Krenicky guy did up in Alaska, the Alone in the Wilderness guy, from the late 60s to the late 90s. He lived in a handmade little cabin with no electricity and no running water, and very seldom got things from the outside world. That's off-grid living. The off-gridders we see today are proud of the fact that they can live lives almost indistinguishable from somebody that is on the grid, except for the monitoring and regular maintenance of their little grids that they have set up to operate their houses on. They're hooked up to phones and internet and got running water, and they're playing on the stock market, and they staying up late watching TV, all while living off-grid. I ain't mad at them, and I ain't taking anything away from the people that live like that. That's a good way to live, in my opinion. You have control over everything you've got. It's just a wrong choice of words, in my opinion. It's not off-grid, it's just a tiny grid that they made. Off-grid is a tent or a cabin in the woods. It's not hooked to anything, and there ain't nothing going on after dark. Now, that's my opinion on that matter. So where's the line to where we can call ourselves homesteaders? Are chickens the gateway animals to be able to wear our title? I guess in this day and age, you can be called whatever you want to be called. There was a woman from California in January of 2022 that married the color pink. I said that to say this. You can do what you want to. You can call yourself what you want to. And I know all you Californians ain't like that, but y'all do seem to have the highest concentration of folks like that out of all of us. I guess this is where I give up. There's not a checklist, and if you get so many boxes checked, then you can call yourself a homesteader. So there it is. There's my opinion. And I know you have an opinion too, and I value your opinion. So if you want to chime in, leave me a comment. I read all of them, or try to anyway. Anyway, I got a lot to do. I got to get out of here. God bless. We'll see you soon.